Hey there, I decided I'm going to try something new. And I will tell you, seeing myself on full screen on a webcam, not so pleasant. Today is a day that I thought I'd share with you. This book is called Rules of the Ruff by Heidi Lang. Heidi's a friend of mine. And she decided to write in the book, it says, for Miss A's students, stay possum. Like Paul. Okay. Rules of the Ruff. Whoever said diamonds are a girl's best friend never owned a dog. And she dedicated this for Sean, who taught me to seek adventure. I'm forever grateful that I get to explore these strange trails with you. I'm guessing that's her husband. I'm friends with her. Doesn't mean I'm friends with her whole family. Chapter 1. Jessie knew persistence was the key in getting anything she wanted. She liked to picture herself as a trickle of water, slowly and endlessly dripping, wearing down stones and filling oceans. How many times have I told you no, you irritating child? Wes asked her. His tone was gruff and discouraging, but at least he'd opened his front door again at her knock. That was a good sign. I don't keep track of things like that, Jessie smiled. She smiled her best smile. The one she'd seen her dad use whenever he needed something. I only focus on the positive. And right now I'm positive you're getting tired of telling me no. Wes ran 2 fingers up and down the deep groove between his eyebrows, as if he thought he might be able to smooth it out. He was a funny-looking man. What with those bushy eyebrows and that too wide nose, his gray blonde hair long enough that it brushed his shoulders and floated around his head. I work alone. Alone, he said, drawing out the word. So I guess he didn't shout it. He said, alone. You can still work alone. I just come along and help out. Do you even understand the meaning of the word alone? Of course I do. But in this case, I thought I could be a huge asset to you. Asset, huh? His scowl twitched. That's a pretty fancy word for a kid. How old are you? Jessie's heart leapt at the question. Usually he'd have slammed the door in her face by now. 12, she said. And what's your name again? Jessie. Jessie Jameson. He winced. Terrible alliteration. That means whenever you say words that start off the same way, with the same letter or the same sound, you say them in a row, sort of like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. That's alliteration. He winced. Terrible alliteration. She said, my dad's name is James Jameson. Then he should have known better. That's not a very nice thing to say, Jessie said. Yeah, well, I'm not a nice man, and frankly, you're not a very nice child. A nice child would have gone away by now. A nice child would have listened when I said no the first 700 times. Jessie nodded slowly. Okay, she said. Okay, I'm probably not nice, but I'm a hard worker, and I really, really love dogs. I'm not even asking you to pay me. Just take me on, just for a week, and see how it goes. She needed this job. Without it, her summer would be an endless stretch of desolation, a desert island with nothing to do and no one to do it with. A week, eh? He hooked his thumbs in the elastic of his hip pack and studied her. Don't you have friends to bother, or video games to play, or whatever it is you kids do these days? No. No? He raised his bushy eyebrows. Elaborate. Jessie took a deep breath. I'm visiting my cousin for the summer, and right now she hates me. I don't have any other friends out here, and I don't really like video games. It's too much sitting around. Okay, so the video is almost over. I only get 5 minutes at a time. If you would like, we can keep going. Let me know.